Leroy got a Rolodex full of guys who would really show up and show out this, like if they was playing right now.
I think one of the things you need to understand is hey man, why are you still surviving? You got a job that's different than it was when you started. Why can't we evolve at our profession? You got a great athlete. He gonna find our way to be great. And so to say that a guy who played like he did in the 80s and 90s can't play now is unfair to that athlete. Just like it's unfair to say that a guy that's been doing whatever he's been doing for 20 years didn't evolve with his company, right? And so one of the great things about the way people played football back then and the way they play now, here's the only difference. One of the bigger differences. You had to be mentally tougher back then, right? You didn't have a league or officials to protect you. It was all about intimidation, right? You had to go on that field and know that they were going to try to break you, right? And if they didn't, you came out on top. And so now you got these little wide receivers that run across the middle, can stick an arm up, exposing all their ribs and stuff, and they know they ain't gonna get hit. And if they get grazed, they hold up. What happened? Right? I played in a day where they would tell you, listen, you might as well catch the ball because you're gonna get knocked out anyway.
Let me give you a player, because you talked to you used to you gave me a great golfing story about LT. Is there a guy that you played with that may play for the Browns that was underrated, undervalued, that you feel like due to the way the game is evolved today, he'd be lethal? One guy that comes to my mind is Eric Metcalf.
I was just ready to say the same. That like here. It's funny that you say that because he's not in the Hall of Fame and he got over 17,000 total yards. Say that out loud. And
17,000, that's crazy.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Eric. To me, he didn't run as hard, but he was more elusive. He was the first Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
they tried to use him in every possible way, because think about this. Metcalf would run the football, play running back. Then he went to Atlanta and played slot receiver and had over 100 catches. Like, you want to talk about a complete offensive player that nowadays they would have used him like Deebo Samuels, Christian McCaffrey,
Alvin Kamara.
But back then they were scared to. Man. You see what I mean? So he would have been more productive now in today's football, right? And that's what's crazy. We tend to look at it and go, "Oh, he would never been able to do that then. You do that now." No, you're right. He would have did more because they wouldn't have been too embarrassed to put a 190-pound guy in the backfield and have him run around and be a playmaker. That's what football is right now.
That game, he ran back to him 2 kicks against the Steelers. Yeah. And word is he had a hamstring injury. Didn't even know he was going to play that game. And he ran back 2 punts. And by the way, don't nobody take punts back. Ain't nobody running no punts back like that. He was back then.
One of the most incredible things I seen, I think it was my rookie year. We were playing the Jets, right? And he caught either a punt or a kickoff. And by the time he got to midfield, he was throwing up the deuces. I was like, what is this? And it looked so smooth.
He was running easy too.
Yeah, I was like, we ran striders one day. And I'm like, I want to punch you in the eye. He said, why? I said, because why am I struggling running? And you just look like it ain't no big deal. He said, because I ran track. You learn how to breathe and run.
That's so crazy. Leroy, we out of time. I'm going to tell you what, man. Look, I could sit here and talk to this man for hours and just hang out and just hear stories, man. I want to thank you for being a part of the first inaugural show. And by the way, give me a name or two of somebody that you want to see on the show that we're going to get on the show. That'll be a great opportunity to spread the knowledge and kick some game on here too.
Well, you got my boy Big Baller. Hey, let me tell you something. Jerry Baller's original Big Baller brand. Right? Yeah.
Hey,
quit
taste infringement.
Right.
Yeah. We got him on Monday.
You can try Metcalf. He got some stories now.
We definitely gonna get him. Gonna get him.
But there's a lot of dudes that, you know, the crazy thing about it is that if you ask them all that question, they'll say, man, Leroy runs his mouth. You got to get him on.
We already got Leroy. He shut it down. We had to put the microphone out, man. Yeah. So we